Testing.
Wait, is the right microphone? I don't want to stream it live.
No, thank you.
Okay, I think we're good.
Yeah.
We look like the two best friends of a main character in a Nancy Meyers movie.
Yes, I was also going to say, to add to that, we look like people going to apply for a job at Eileen Fisher.
We should be so lucky,
honestly. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sort of like,
dream.
How do they pay part-time?
Yeah, exactly. Give me some linen. Come on.
That's how you know you're. There's a Eileen Fisher store in our neighborhood.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, when you walk by and you're sort of like, well.
Oh, I've been tempted to go in.
I've gone
I must
in.
admit. And?
You know, it was like maybe 3 years ago and I wasn't quite there yet, but I think
you're
if
there
I.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways,
we'll see how that sounds.
See how this sounds. Hi, Charlotte.
Hello, Madeline.
We're back.
Yes, we are.
How are you?
Hot.
So hot.
It's very, very warm in New York City.
Charlotte and I are both in linen, as you might have heard in the test.
Yeah.
But it is unbearably hot in New York right now.
And linen, I will say, you think this is a fabric to wear to stay cool. You think about it, and you're like, okay, when you actually do it,
yeah,
it is incredible.
It unfortunately
really
does
is a huge. It helps.
It does help.
I've become a real linen convert.
I love a linen pant,
linen in
top.
the summer. And look, it might take a second to break it in.
True.
But when you wash it, and it gets a little soft.
Oh, it's like wearing a blanket.
Well,
a cool blanket.
It's like wearing a curtain that flows in the breeze. A window curtain.
Yes.
Anyway, how are you?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Hot. Considering getting a bob, it's so hot. I just really want to cut off my hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I do. And I sort of do too. But one thing I will say, harder to put up in a ponytail.
No, there's like no ponies.
Right. So it just sits on your neck as a bob.
That's true.
It might not be as hot weather friendly.
Yeah. It's more just, I feel like
I've
never done it. I've never done it except in third grade. If I can find a photo, I'll insert it. And I've been thinking about it.
I get it.
I don't know if it'll look good though.
When I was in elementary school, I had like a bob, and I would say cut it as short as you can so I can still put it in a ponytail. That was my directive.
Yeah, that's a good directive.
To Gerald, who still cuts my mom's hair. Oh. Shout out Gerald. We love Gerald.
Shout out.
Yes, I know. There's something about it.
I just when you feel it. I'm just getting served TikToks about getting bobs, and like it's basically like you just start thinking about it, and it's like you can't stop thinking about it. You should probably do it. But I mean, it is hair. It does grow back, but I'm very sentimental to my long hair.
I know. Well,
but think about it,
you have beautiful hair.
Thank you. But think about how many times are we recording? My hair's up.
A lot. Like it's not most. Every time. It wasn't last week.
That's true because I had to air dry it, which I also can't stand. I have so much hair. So I'm like, now I'm just like going through an existential crisis, being like, wait, have I always just maybe needed short hair because I'm always putting my hair up always because it bothers me?
Okay, so here's what we need.
What I mean?
We need to know the listeners who have a bob, or listeners who are married to someone, or friends with someone who has a bob. Report back on bobs in hot weather situations.
Yep.
Bobs in, is it annoying if you can't pull it back?
Yep, true. For
or
working out.
Do you get it to a length where you still can? Are there hacks we don't know about?
Yep.
And should Madeline cut all of her hair off?
Should we do it? Let us know in the comments.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
So
anyways,
the Thunder won the NBA Finals.
The Thunder won the NBA Finals. Congrats to Oklahoma City.
Congrats to Oklahoma City. I think obviously we can't talk about the finals without talking about Tyrese Haliburton, the star of the Indiana Pacers, who lost. He tore his Achilles.
Terrible.
In the 7th minute of the game.
Terrible.
He had just hit 3 threes in a row. He was cooking. I said before the game, I was like, I thought the Pacers could win.
I get a text from you, and I think it was just something. My husband and I were seeing this play, which everyone should see, called Ha 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 Ha. Don't look it up. Just go see it at the Public Theater. It was amazing. But we got out of it, and it was like halftime in the game. And the text you sent, I think it was just like, the Achilles.
I think I just texted you, like, it's definitely an Achilles, right?
And I'm like, huh? I'm like thinking, Shakespeare?
You responded, huh? LOL. And I was like, Madeline, it's game 7 of the NBA. I was like, what do you mean? Huh?
I literally am like, I just got out of a play. I did watch the second half.
I like that though. I like that you were like, I want to see this. I'm going.
Well, I didn't realize when we booked it.
I know that I will see the end of the game.
Yeah. Well, no, I know. Yeah, we were doing the math. We were doing the math.
Exactly.
Yeah. It was only 70-minute show, so we only missed 2 quarters. But we missed the sad injury.
Yeah, which
it's terrible.
Awful. It's also the third Achilles tear these playoffs.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard, Milwaukee Bucks, tore his Achilles. Jason Tatum, Boston Celtics, tore his Achilles. Tyrese Haliburton. Do you want to know something that freaked me out a little bit?
What?
They all wear number 0.
I don't like that.
They all wear number. Like that. So I want to. Here's my question for you.
Nope. Don't like that.
I've been very excited to talk about this with you. If you wore number 0 in the league, and you had, and you were not one of those 3 players who just tore their Achilles, would you change your number?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Same.
It's like how a lot of hotels don't have a 13th floor.
Yes.
I feel like now players are gonna be like, we're not doing number 0 anymore. This is too many players who are number 0 are tearing their Achilles. This isn't right.
Also, just the fact that it's 0 and like when you tear your Achilles, it's like you set back to your. It's like something about it freaked me out.
It's like a reset.
It really creeped me out when I saw
like that.
I feel so bad for him.
Poor guy.
And we will talk about the Thunder. Don't worry, for everyone who's like the Thunder earned it. Yes, they did. I do think though that if Tyrese had been healthy, there is a chance that the Pacers would have won, and that sucks. Nobody wants to win that way. The Thunder were obviously the best team all year.
I know.
So it's not like, they shouldn't have won.
But I do think that they would have definitely had a strong chance of winning.
Yes.
Yeah.
The thing that I want to talk to you about, though, is Tyrese Haliburton posted an Instagram, which is almost the exact same angle of the photo that Jason Tatum posted after his surgery. And for some reason, I just get like, we both do, really into like who people's doctors are.
Oh, I love
as athletes.
I remember Googling at one point. This was so unhinged.
What?
Who Meghan Markle's doctor was who delivered her babies in Santa Barbara. Because at the time I was living in Santa Barbara, I was like, I want to go to this gynecologist. I found him.
Stop it.
Yeah, I did at the time. I couldn't remember their name now. No. I didn't go, but I
found it.
Oh yeah. She gave birth at Cottage Hospital. Lovely hospital. I was like looking at the birthing suite images.
So creepy. But this is,
it's like, you kind of want, you're like, oh, who are they seeing?
Yes.
I'm like, are they going to like Joe Schmo doctor that like I could go see? And then hypothetically, like I could have gone to see this doctor.
Yes, exactly. You could have.
Anyways.
I also want to say this is organic. Like we are doing this show because this is organically something we do.
Yes. This is not planned.
It's just like Google stuff about people.
Yeah. I'm just curious.
Which is basically, if someone asked me to describe the show, obviously you have the brilliant tagline, if ESPN and Bravo had a baby. Yeah. I would also say it's us Googling stuff about people.
Yes. Always be Googling.
Which is the most fun thing in the world. Anyway, so I saw this picture of Tyrese. He also released a statement that we will read some of because I think it's one of the more honest statements.
Yeah,
He's also so charismatic.
I know.
He seems like such a nice guy. Like everybody was walking after the Pacers lost. He was on crutches greeting all of them.
And Reggie Miller too was there. Oh, it's just sad.
And TJ McConnell started crying and I almost started crying.
I know.
Have I told you this?
What?
About TJ McConnell? No. On the Pacers, he's the shorter white guy on the Pacers who like comes in and is like just looks like a little dust ball running around. You know, just everywhere all the time. Dust ball?
Sure.
We're gonna go with it. You know what I mean? Like a tumbleweed going really fast.
Yeah. Okay.
So I once wrote a profile of the former coach of the Sixers, Bruce Brown, because he's from Maine. Which is very cool.
Great.
I love Maine basketball players. Shout out Cooper Flagg. The draft is tomorrow. Anyway, whatever. I'm all over the place.
Yes.
I wrote this profile. TJ McConnell had been on the Sixers for one of Bruce Brown's teams, and I talked to him to interview him about Bruce Brown. Afterwards, I Google him. Obviously, look at the personal life section. Yeah. TJ McConnell. We have the same birthday. So
wow.
I texted TJ McConnell, and I said, hey, this is a little weird, but I just looked at your personal life section. We have the same birthday, March 25th. And he responded, he just goes, Aries, let's go. And from that day on, I have been a very big TJ McConnell fan.
Wait, I love that. I love that his immediate response is about astrology.
Right?
I love that. That's great.
That's sort of the best possible response.
Because that's what I was thinking in my head. I go, you guys are the same sign. That was I love it.
Aries, let's go.
Okay.
Anyway, so Tyrese Haliburton, he posts this picture. He's wearing the same gown as Jason Tatum was wearing.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum had his Achilles surgery at the Hospital for Special Surgery in New York, which is where I've had a back procedure before. I think it was the same gown I was wearing. Tyrese was wearing it. I was like, I bet he went to, and indeed he did. Tyrese Haliburton got his Achilles surgery. Same guy who did Jason Tatum.
Oh, wow.
Dr. Martin O'Malley.
Oh, okay.
And that's that.
Wow. That's like when I lived in LA, I had a knee issue and I Googled because, again, of course, looking up who are the best people seen. I looked up like, who's the Lakers knee doctor? I think I've told you this. I went and saw the guy who like worked on the Lakers.
Dr. Neil Elatrosh?
I don't remember.
No. Was it? No. We looked him up before.
No, I don't remember. Different guy. I don't remember his name. But anyways.
Did he help you?
Yeah, he helped with my knee. I didn't have to get knee surgery or anything, but I went and did physical therapy and fixed it.
Oh my God.
But, yeah,
did you feel like an NBA player?
Oh, in there, they had like paraphernalia? Not wrong. Memorabilia.
I mean, maybe. I wasn't there.
Memorabilia. Lakers memorabilia, not paraphernalia. You know what I meant?
Yeah.
What if I had just said that and then just kept talking and you never corrected me?
Well, I don't know that I would have thought twice.
It ends in like Elia.
I'm like knickknacks.
Hemophilia.
The Habsburgs had that.
Who? Who?
Wait,
what?
The Habsburgs, who were a ruling family of Spain and like Germany, and they all intermarried to the point that they were so inbred they all had hemophilia.
Oh my!
And big chins.
Wow. Okay.
Anybody else who knew that will appreciate that greatly. Anybody who didn't will be like, you're insane.
Name another podcast. Find me another podcast.
Name another podcast with two hosts so unhinged that they know that the Habsburg had hemophilia and who Meghan Markle's gynecologist was. I don't know. All I'm saying is I think we're special.
Name another pod. We're special ladies. Indeed we are.
Okay.
Wow, that's crazy though. So what did his statement say?
His statement, it was long, so I'll just read.
Because I think I saw snippets. Okay. Charlotte just pulled it up, but I didn't know that was actually his statement.
Oh, yeah. He posted this to Instagram on Letterhead, on Haliburton Letterhead, which
I love.
Love.
It's so much better than a Notes app statement.
Yes.
Like when they just screenshot the Notes app. Like, come on, put it in Canva at least.
Which he did.
He did.
He also said...
Good job, Tyrese.
He said, man, don't know how to explain it other than shock. Words cannot express the pain of this letdown. The frustration is unfathomable. I've worked my whole life to get to this moment, and this is how it ends. Makes no sense. And he said, now that I've gotten surgery, I wish I could count the number of times people will tell me I'm going to come back stronger. What a cliche, LOL, this sucks. My foot feels like dead weight, fam. But what's hurting most, I think, is my mind. I feel like I'm rambling, but I know this is something I'll look back on when I'm through this as something I'm proud I fought through. It feels good to let this out without y'all seeing the ugly kid cry. Sorry.
What? Sorry. Wait. Wait. That's not what the statement says. For the record, no one is ugly. Everyone is beautiful.
Sorry,
Charlotte.
I meant to say, I read it wrong. It's supposed to say, it feels good to let this shit out without y'all seeing the kid ugly cry. Oh my God.
Oh,
Tyrese
now we're
Haliburton
about to ugly cry.
Not ugly.
He's not ugly. Oh my God.
Damn it.
We are not cutting this. Oh, that's so funny.
Okay, anyway, the point is, it was a very honest statement.
Yes, no, it was. It felt like, it did not feel very PR-y in a nice way.
Yes, exactly.
It really felt like, he's like, yeah, this sucks. This is terrible.
Nobody ever says
no
that.
one's like, oh, this is a bummer, but gonna come back stronger at the end. It's like, he's like, no, I'm devastated. This is horrible. I've worked, like, he almost won the NBA finals. Like, he almost got the Larry O'Brien trophy.
Yeah.
And then he didn't because he tore his Achilles.
Game 7 of the NBA finals. I can't think of anything that any kid grew up wanting to play basketball would want more.
Yeah. No, yeah.
And then that happened.
Yeah.
It is cruel on a level that, like, I think this is one of the worst injuries I've ever seen in sport. Like,
Agreed.
there was a devastation. And we'll come back to this Pacers team because it does relate to the Thunder. I want to talk about the Thunder for a second. They're the second youngest team to ever win a championship after one of the legendary Bill Walton's Portland Trailblazers teams. And they were such a team. They were a complete team. They clearly liked each other.
Yeah.
There was also just some really cute things, which was that Jalen Williams had never had a drink before.
I love that.
They're so young.
They're so young.
They're so young. His first drink
yeah.
was champagne after winning the NBA Finals.
Which, by the way, they couldn't figure out how to open the bottles. Which, again, they're so young, they don't know how to open a champagne bottle.
Alex Caruso, who's 30 and they call like grandpa or something, was like, okay, I'll show you. He's also won a championship before with the Lakers in 2020. So,
yes.
You know, he knew how to celebrate. But
right.
I was thinking about like what my first drink was, which was probably like a strawberry daiquiri when I was 15, like in my friend's basement.
I think mine was a Smirnoff Ice, like pink lemonade. Ooh.
Yeah.
And I remember me and my best friend Celine probably is listening to this. We're probably like, we're drunk. And it's like, definitely no buzz.
Right.
It's just sugar. There's like barely any alcohol in it.
I don't know.
Well,
after you get iced, you feel a certain way. I'm serious. Remember?
I think I only had one though.
Do you remember we saw that girl when we went to the New York Philharmonic concert outside Central Park? A girl got iced, which is where someone, if they give you a Smirnoff Ice, you have to chug it.
Yeah.
Which is also diabolical.
I would just be like, no.
Yeah, I would be like, I'm not doing that. But she did it.
No.
Anyway.
Well, the other thing I wanted to say, I don't know if you saw this, The Athletic reported that it was basically the most tempered locker room they ever saw after a championship,
really?
Which I love. Like, it was just like young. They're just like, okay, cool.
They're like, this was great.
Like, can't really pop the champagne.
Oh my God.
Which I do love.
It's so cute. They're such a cute team.
They're just sweet.
Yes. Sweet. And Shai Gilgeous-Alexander won every possible award this season.
Of course.
He's incredible.
Yeah.
And I think something that we talked about at the start of these finals where it was like, it's not a sexy matchup. I told a story about sleeping in a train car. It became a sexy matchup.
Yeah.
Because the basketball is so good.
Yeah.
It went to 7 games. And now people are going to have name recognition, casual fans of Shai, of Tyrese,
right,
who's probably out all of next season, which is absolutely devastating. But, you know, of Jalen Williams, these people have... It's the time we were talking about that you need to become these names that people look forward to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very cool. I also think that both of these teams were not built from star players that were sort of cobbled together. Mm-hmm. They were homegrown teams. They'd had time together. They'd been through bad seasons together. Mm-hmm. And I think that this just goes to what we always say. What do we always say?
It's all about vibes.
It's all about vibes.
All about vibes. I think if the vibes are not right, you are not going far in the playoffs. No. Period. Like, it doesn't matter. You could have 45 name brand stars.
Yes.
And you're not going far if the vibes aren't right.
That would also be a huge basketball team. No, but it's true. It's true because, like, what it comes down to is, like, sports at their core are about management. It is a business of managing people.
Yeah.
And you need to have the right people who work together well and the right person to manage and lead them.
It's like if at a company you have too many outlier people who are just disrupting the flow, making projects more difficult to complete. No one's doing their work in the deck that they're assigned in advance. And the vibes will be off.
Yeah.
And that is a management problem.
Exactly.
Because that means they're hiring the wrong people.
Yes.
So if they're hiring the right people and people are sticking around, the vibes are there, and people are going to do their work.
What a concept!
And win a championship.
It's a team sport. Who would have thought? Anyway, so that I think I love that. Basically, there was proof of the fact that, like, you have to be a team who plays well together, and, like, I'm sure there's stuff we don't know about going on behind the scenes. There always is, but I will say, I do know an assistant coach on the Thunder who is like, this team is truly different and special. Yeah. It is a true team.
Yeah.
He said.
I mean, it felt like it was watching them.
You know, there's something to be said for that. It's like,
it's all about the vibes.
Run a good company. Be a good leader. Figure it out. Be a good manager. Be a good teammate.
Come on.
Well,
speaking of vibes, you put something in here that I don't know anything about.
Oh, yeah.
Something to do with the Boston Red Sox and vibes.
Last week we talked about how the Boston Red Sox traded their star player, Rafael Devers, to the San Francisco Giants. They told him he wouldn't be playing third base anymore at the start of the season. He was going to become the designated hitter. He became the designated hitter. First baseman got hurt. And they were like, hey, we need you to play first base. And he was like, I've never done that before. And you can't keep like switching this up on me.
Yeah.
Like if you told me in the beginning of the season, you want me to do that instead of just being the DH, I would have done that. And so it got all messy. And basically what it comes down to is that the Red Sox front office seems to be an absolute disaster.
Oh, I'm so not shocked.
Right?
I'm not shocked.
Which also makes sense. Last week we talked about this. They traded away Mookie Betts in 2020, my favorite player. Still kind of not over it. And now I'm like, oh, you guys are just screwing up again. A report came out by June Lee at Yahoo that the owner, John Henry, has become fairly hands-off. Is like more interested because his ownership group also owns Liverpool.
Yeah.
And so has become a little more interested in that. And the Red Sox, there was... Alex Cora, the manager, was at odds with Craig Breslau, the chief baseball officer, the CBO.
CBO?
Which is a position that every company has.
I love that that's a job title. Chief baseball officer. What do? Collect the balls? No, I just am doing management of the balls.
No, I am in charge
of the people who hit the balls.
Yeah.
Or something. Whatever. Anyways.
Also, he used to play, but he was a player. So maybe he was like... They were like, what do you want your title to be? Like general president or whatever. And he's like, chief baseball officer.
It's like being like, I'm head of business. You're like, that's not at a company. You're like, what? The head of business? Yeah, this is a business.
It's if we were like, we're going to be co-CPOs, chief broadcast officers.
Yeah. Yeah, it is what we are.
Anyway, so basically things are falling apart. And Breslau brought in a sports consulting firm, like the private equity of sports, essentially, I guess. We should probably Google this company called Sportsology.
Okay.
A consulting firm called Sportsology to conduct an organizational audit, which I would argue are the death words of any chance of the vibes being good.
Yeah.
You bring in the
Deloitte.
Consultants.
Yeah, bring in McKinsey.
It's like, things are not going to get better.
Nope.
Let's Google this real quick. Sportsology Group. They're based in New York.
Classic.
Yeah, okay. Oh my God, the Google reviews. Someone said, thanks for setting back U.S. soccer and wasting everyone's time. 1 star.
I do love that.
Okay, so Sportsology Group home. Maximizing growth of elite sporting organizations.
That's a fake sentence.
This is operational advisory, human capital, M&A. Oh my. Man. Okay. And the profiles of the people who work there.
Okay. Oh my. Well, it's exactly what I would
it's what you would think.
Well, yeah,
this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 white dudes and 1 white lady in the head of this situation. Analyzing MLS roster strategies, the changing dynamics of hiring a head coach in women's football.
These are articles on their website.
Okay, yeah, no thank you. These are white papers on nothing. So anyway, Craig brings in Sportsology to streamline baseball operations, and instead a bunch of people got fired, and a lot of people who had been there for a long time got pushed to the sidelines.
Well, that's always what happens when you bring in those outside firms.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like... The minute you hear that your company has brought in the sportsology of whatever your industry is, you should probably start looking for another job.
Yeah. You probably already should have started looking for a job before they came in.
The best part of this, though, is that there was a Zoom meeting earlier this season, and towards the end, a guy, Carl Mosch, I think that's how you say his right name. He's a scouting supervisor and had been with the team since 2017. He thought that the call had ended, but it hadn't. Like, it was a Zoom hot mic.
Oh, no.
As the meeting wrapped, there was a quiet moment, and he said, "Thanks, Brez, you effing stiff," as like thinking he was offline, saying it to himself. Oh my God! Breslau heard it, fired him, and then the Red Sox swept the Yankees. Devers hits a home run, and they get rid of him because they don't want to deal with him.
Oh, that's a mess.
Big mess.
Vibes are way off. Oh, no.
Red Sox fans are pissed. I'm pissed. But that kind of insight, like, thank you, June, for doing that work, because that's the details we crave. Okay, a couple questions.
Yeah. Number one, Carl, my guy. It's 2025. We've been using Zoom pretty frequently since 2020, since the pandemic. I mean, that's when like everyone kind of started. I mean, people were using Zoom, but more frequently in 2020.
Yeah.
First of all, do you not know how to use the mute button?
Clearly not.
That's my question number one. Number two, were you dialing into this call on your phone? Because I do think sometimes when you're on your phone, you can accidentally unmute yourself too easily than if you're on your computer. So maybe he dialed into the call on his phone and didn't know how to hang up on the Zoom mobile app.
No, that's a great point. Although for some baseball to me
feels like
baseball guys
feels desktop.
Yes, baseball feels desktop.
It does feel desktop.
Baseball feels desktop in a way that like I wouldn't be shocked if this guy didn't know there was a mute button.
It feels very like PC heavy computer usage versus Mac.
Yes.
The NBA feels like Mac.
Yes.
Apple products.
Yes. NFL, Microsoft Surface, famously. A lot of Teams meetings. WNBA, Mac. U.S. women's soccer, PC?
Men's soccer, PC.
But like, I feel like the U.S. women's soccer, the governing body is like, we're still using PCs, and everyone's like, you should probably be using Macs.
Yes.
Also, if you use a PC,
shade to
my
a PC. I just think
my dad uses a PC laptop.
Yeah.
And I respect it. Also, it does look a lot the same, but the desktop
it feels
PC.
But the MLB feels very dull computer.
Yes.
Zoom. They're not comfortable. I feel like they're not cool. You know what I feel like?
What?
I'm going to say something so stupid. I feel like the MLB hates remote work.
Yes.
I feel like they have a terrible remote work policy.
MLB is like, if you are not
5 days a week in office,
in the ballpark 5 days a week,
5 days a week,
you are not like.
Doesn't it feel like
also that? You know, when you think about it, actually, baseball is the most analog because they use a landline from the dugout to the reliever's bullpen.
Like you can't send a text.
Yeah, they're like, "Hey, man, the 1950s are calling. We're going to need you to end this inning for us."
Yes,
which I love.
I do love it.
Also,
No, I love it.
Here's the thing.
I love it.
I love baseball and I love landlines.
Yeah, me too.
I wish I didn't have a cell phone. I say this often. I wish I had a landline. And when I go out into the world, if I'm not home, you can't reach me.
Isn't it fabulous?
Maybe baseball's onto something, except for this guy Carl who said something that got him fired.
This
on a
is
hot
what
mic.
happes when you make people go back into an office 5 days a week. Carl gets
well,
caught
then
on a hot mic.
Why were they on a Zoom?
No, that's true. That's
what. Maybe it was a road trip. Maybe some of them were on the road for baseball.
Yeah, they
Chief
do go on the road
operations. A lot of games. Anyway, I thought that you would enjoy that.
Oh, no, I love that.
We love a messy workplace insight.
I love it. Well, in NBA news, different NBA news, not so fun NBA news. Some trades happened.
Not for me.
Not for you. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, this is relevant to you. Drew Holiday, star Boston Celtics, who was recently traded to the Boston Celtics. Was that 2 years ago?
After the 2022, it was 2022 or 2023. I think 2023.
Yeah, he was traded famously from the Milwaukee Bucks. His family was devastated. They had built a life in Milwaukee. It was a whole thing.
And he is married to Lauren Holiday, who was a U.S. women's national team player.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Power couple.
He was traded to the Portland Trailblazers from the Celtics. I'm bummed for him.
I'm really sad.
I
loved him. He was one of my favorite players, even though he got there recently. He was just like such a great presence.
Yeah.
I also, and won a championship with them last year. I also understand that he was being paid a lot, and in his mid-30s, that's not necessarily where a team wants to invest their money. So, like, I get it. But I also was thinking about this. I can't imagine, like, being Brad Stevens, the GM, and in this meeting, you're talking about money and how to balance the payroll and being like, well, Drew's salary is too much. We've got to get rid of it. And then being like, oh, Drew's a person.
Yeah.
Like, oh, when we say that we need to get rid of the $40 million that will count against the cap or whatever it was, like, that's a guy.
That's a person.
And we love that guy.
Yeah.
And I think about the compartmentalization it takes, because I know Brad Stevens, like, loves the players.
Yeah.
But to be good at your job, you have to be ruthless in sports and just make players move.
It's crazy. Could you imagine, like, just at any moment's notice, you got to move to the other side of the country?
No, and
it's not like Boston to New York. Boston to Portland.
I know.
That's a schlep.
I immediately thought of Lauren and their kids and being like, and they have a foundation in Boston now.
Yeah.
Like, they have really become part of the community, and now they have to move again. I was just devastated for them.
I'd be like, no.
I couldn't be a professional. I mean,
oh no, I couldn't.
I mean,
well,
look at me.
They do make a lot of money.
I couldn't. Right.
But I would be like at a certain
don't know,
point.
though.
I mean, I get it. It's like keep playing because you might as well make millions of dollars while you can.
And you love it.
Ostensibly. But I'm also like, if I was traded to another place, I'm like, I'm quitting. I'm done. I'm retiring. I don't want to move again.
No.
Which I would understand. If a player retired a little bit early just because they didn't want to move again and they said that, I'd be like, I respect that.
It would be
Everyone
the most
would be like,
relatable.
yeah, who wants to move again for a job 2 or 3 years later?
Also, Drew's won 2 championships.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
He's had a great run.
Right.
At this age, if someone told me I had to move, I wouldn't.
No. I would just be like, nope.
No.
I'd
be like,
not doing it.
And he's made a bunch of money already.
Yeah.
One would think.
But
I don't know anybody's situation.
I know.
I get wanting to keep playing. I hate moving.
Oh, I'm
never leaving the East Coast.
No, you're an East Coast for life. You're a lifer.
The ocean is on the wrong side on the West Coast. It's on the wrong side. It's on the left. It's
Charlotte.
Supposed to be on the
ocean is on the wrong side.
It's on the wrong side.
Well,
anyways, Kevin Durant was also traded.
Oh my God.
Did you see a video of this?
Yes. He found out he was traded. Well, we don't know if that is necessarily true. He might have found out right before. But news broke while he was being interviewed by Taylor Rooks at Fanatics Fest.
Yes.
And so the crowd is like shouting at him, you're going to Houston or something like that.
Could you tell what the reaction was? Because it was like...
It seemed like they
weren't cheering.
No, it was kind of just like yelling at him.
Yeah.
And he's just kind of smirking.
Because he knows.
Yeah, he knows.
He's not learning of this for the first
time. No, it
time.
seems like he learned probably right before.
He knew before,
guess.
Yeah. He's probably been wanting to do this. Yeah. Kevin Durant to Houston in a deal for Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, number 10 overall pick in Wednesday's draft, and 5 second rounders. I guess the one thing I'll say, I know Kevin Durant is amazing.
Yeah.
And people think that maybe they can win a championship now because they have him and they didn't have to give up too much to get him. I don't know that I will ever think trading for an older star. Kevin Durant, I believe, is my age, 36.
Yeah.
Is going to be the answer to winning a championship as opposed to continuing to develop players within the organization. I don't know.
I would agree because, again, I think it's a vibes thing. Yeah. Because they're going to kind of, I'm not a basketball expert and I am not a basketball coach. However, I feel like he's going to come in. He's the veteran star. He's going to kind of like run the show amongst the team and they're going to have to do what he says. Right?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of. I'm not saying he's the coach, but I just mean like energetically, the focus is going to be on him.
And historically, he did he tried to do this in the Nets and the Suns. And now we're trying to do it on the Rockets.
And it didn't work.
So
I don't know. I'm just like, sometimes I'm like, not to get all existential, but I'm just like, when they make these decisions, I'm just like, why? Look at the NBA Finals this year, as we were talking about earlier. Both teams kind of homegrown, built from the ground up, bootstrapped together, And it's like, that got them to the finals because they're bonded together and they have good vibes. Whereas you're bringing in a star player who's like, he's still very good. Kevin Durant.
Yes, he's incredible. Don't get us wrong. His minutes are good. He's producing, blah, blah, blah.
However, he's not 22.
No.
And I just think also energetically when someone is coming in who's really famous, a really famous player, the vibes completely shift.
Yes.
And people don't speak up, voice concerns the same way as when it's more of like a bootstrapped together team. Everyone's bonded, maybe a little bit younger. I don't think it's going to go well. I don't think it's going to go poorly. I don't think the Rockets are winning a championship next year. I'm going to call it right now.
Same. And
sorry, Katie.
If doing this is the thing that you do to try to win a championship next year, which is the only reason that you do this, I don't think that's going to be the result.
No.
And also, I think that you and I could be very good GMs of a sports team.
Yes.
Because it is so much more common sense, people, vibes-based stuff than it is like, how do you run a certain pick and roll or like what's the cap space? I get it. Like, yes, cap space salary. You need someone who's good at math, but we could find that.
We could
we could run a team.
Also, it's all these players from a rookie up to Kevin Durant, LeBron James, whoever, the stars of the league. They all have the fundamental basketball skills.
Yes.
They all have it. So that aside, it's like, it's about people management.
Mm-hmm.
and managing people's personalities and who is actually going to be a good fit on a team. And when you make these decisions that I would guess, it's like Katie's not meeting with the other players and then deciding, like, they're not like doing like a room test. They're not like doing like a chemistry test before they agree to trade them.
Right.
You know? And so it's like they're just showing up. It's like when someone transfers from another office and completely throws off the vibe. It's like they might be the star employee in that other office on the West Coast or whatever.
Yeah.
But when they come to the East Coast, vibes are different.
Yeah. No, I
don't think it's that complicated. I know you agree.
No, you're totally right. And I think, too, if you look at a guy like Obi Toppin, who was drafted by the Knicks pretty high, didn't do anything for them that they were happy with. He goes to Indiana. He played pretty well in these playoffs. He wasn't great in Game 7, but like sometimes the skills, you need the right person to bring them out.
Yes.
So a lot of times, I'm not saying that everybody can be a superstar in this league, and some people just are not as good as other people, but a lot of times, if you have a good coach, you can get a lot more out of people. And Ime Udoka, on the coach of the Houston Rockets, very good coach. But this feels a little bit like a thing more for Kevin Durant than a thing for the Rockets.
It feels like he just wanted to do it.
Yeah.
And he
thinks
bops
he has a
around.
good chance of winning there.
Yeah.
Which also,
we could be wrong.
I just hope that Kevin
we're
Durant, someone sends him this podcast
and he tweets about
it.
I would love nothing more.
When we say we
like
think the
haters.
Rockets are going to win a championship, I hope that Kevin Durant sees this and tells us we're wrong.
I would love that.
It would be the greatest honor of our careers.
Please tweet at us, Katie.
Okay, now we have to make this a clip.
Yeah, we have to.
Katie, we said it.
We said it. Yeah.
We'll see who's right.
Last week we talked about Paige Bueckers and Azzi Fudd and whether they're dating, not dating. Are they official? Are they not? Seems like they're official, and especially based on this new evidence, they have to be dating.
If they're not dating, it is the longest con in the history of best friends.
Yes, and they're just laughing.
Because Azzi Fudd posted a picture on her Instagram story of shouting out her hairstylist or makeup artist, someone who is helping her get ready for something, and she takes a picture, and it's a mirror selfie, and on the back of her phone is a sticker that very clearly says, Paige Bueckers' girlfriend.
I mean, clear as day.
I love that she did this about someone else, being like, hey, go follow so-and-so. She's a great, stylist.
Yes.
And then it's like, also, by the way, I'm Paige Bueckers' girlfriend.
I love that.
Lest any of you be confused.
I love that.
So great.
I wouldn't even, okay, let's think. Would you consider this a medium launch, a hard launch, or like a sticker launch?
Oh, gosh.
A new type of launch?
Oh, my God. It might be new. It might be what I would call a sneaky hard launch.
Sneaky hard launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a hard launch, but it's also like, it's a literal, do I have to spell this out for you launch?
Yes. Yes.
And
literally
she did.
She spelled it out. No, I love it.
Love
it's
this
great.
couple so much. I can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
Give me all of the Paige and Azzi content. That's all I've got on that. A+ work.
I would love to see if Paige has the same sticker on her phone.
Azzi Fudd's girlfriend?
Exactly.
Okay, well, now, Paige, if you don't post a mirror selfie,
come on,
we're gonna need you
ASAP.
We're gonna combust.
Yeah.
So do it.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be great.
I would love that.
I also have some questions about, like, did she make the sticker? Did Azzi make the sticker herself?
Yes.
Did Paige make the sticker for her? What company did they use to make the sticker? I have a lot of questions about.
I also can't tell if it's a phone case.
Oh,
it might be a phone case. I don't know. Because then I'm like, did they get it on Etsy?
That makes a little more sense. Yeah. Oh my God. Can you imagine being the person, no matter whether it was a sticker or a phone case, who made that sticker, and you're sitting there being like, because it seems like something, it could be Zazzle.com.
Could be.
But it seems
Custom
like
ink.
it could have been, it seems like it could have been an Etsy situation.
Yeah.
Can you imagine getting that order? I mean, they had to have signed an NDA.
Or not. I mean, I don't know.
That's crazy.
Or not.
Being the person who made the Paige Bueckers
I mean, that would be
sticker?
amazing. We'll have to find them.
Yeah. If you know who that was or how that happened, let us know.
Send us a DM. Well, we're making it near the end of the episode, and we have to talk about two people we talk about quite often.
We do.
On the Sports Gossip Show.
Yeah, we do.
Jordon Hudson and Bill Belichick. There is a small update there.
Yes. Which was last episode, we speculated she'd posted a grid post with the song Taylor Swift's The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. And we were like, she hadn't posted for a while. Could that possibly have been a breakup post?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. We had a feeling it wasn't. We had a feeling it was shade directed at somebody else.
Yeah.
But she posted a picture on her story of both of their hands with the location in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Once again, she is wearing her championship Bridgewater State cheerleading ring, national championship. Bill is wearing what appears to be his 5th Super Bowl ring.
Yeah.
And this was a thing they did at the Super Bowl, and everyone thought she was wearing one of Bill's rings, and she was like, no, it's actually mine. This is the thing they like to do. And then she posted a picture from California and on the grid, and the caption was, "Main girl takes on California, parentheses, ironically," with a picture of her in a striped vintage-looking swimsuit with chicken fingers, fries, guac, and what appears to be a pina colada.
Yeah.
We have not, in a long time, gotten an iconic Jordon caption with a word that makes no sense, and it feels so good.
It's so satisfying.
Ironically?
Ironically. Huh? I don't...
What?
It didn't need to be... The caption was fine without ironically.
The caption was actually one of her better ones.
I don't think it needed it, Jordan. I actually think you could have cut the word.
It definitely don't need the parentheses.
It just doesn't work.
No.
It doesn't work. Related to this story, though, I don't know if you saw the photo, I think. Like, I don't know if it was for this trip or another trip they took recently. They're at the airport, and they almost missed their flight. Did you see the photo of them at the airport?
No. Wait, what? From when? Okay.
They are boarding their flight to Las Vegas, and they almost missed their flight, and they ran to the gate, and the photo... We will insert it, even though it's kind of a gross photo.
Oh, my God.
Bill Belichick is just profusely sweating through his sweatshirt on his back.
But sweating through his sweatshirt in the place where his backpack was, which anyone who's worn a backpack understands this place.
And listen, I get it.
I get it.
It's hot. I don't know where they're probably in Florida. Maybe they're in Florida.
Having recently seen Bill Belichick walk, though,
yes, that's true.
I can't imagine what it looks like when he runs.
I can't imagine either.
Very lumbery.
Could you imagine? Anyways, yeah, they maybe barely missed their flight. And then the real kicker of the photo, maybe a trigger warning.
Oh, my God.
I don't know why, but he takes off his shoe in one of the photos, or he's like fixing his shoe or something.
Oh my God.
But the kicker, he's wearing sneakers with no socks, it looks like.
Oh, that is just Bill
No
Belichick's...
one needs to see Bill Belichick's foot in any setting, let alone an airport.
That is a bare foot.
That is a bare foot.
That is... Bill Belichick has done a lot of things. That might be the most Bill Belichick thing of all time. You see his bare foot in an airport at the gate while he's talking to the gate agent.
Yes. Which is... No thanks.
That is... Also, look, can't help but notice he's a Tar Heel now. The UNC logo is literally the bottom of a foot, and it is against a blue background. Maybe Bill's just repping his school. That's all I'll say about that.
Oh my God. The last thing I want to say about this Jordon Hudson little update here. The photo with the rings.
Yeah.
She has nail polish, like kind of designy, glittery nail polish. Who else loves glittery nail polish but Miss Taylor Allison Swift? And the only reason I even think about this is because my friend Hunter Harris wrote a newsletter. She wrote a newsletter one time. I think it was about, I don't remember the exact subject line, but it was something about Taylor Swift's nails, because the rumor is that Taylor allegedly does her own nails, but they're always like very glittery nails.
The post Hunter wrote, I think I've read this multiple times. It was about how she's wearing, it's like nude glittery nail polish.
My first thought when I saw it was, I think Jordan was inspired by Taylor Swift, because she clearly is a Swiftie. She uses Taylor Swift lyrics often.
You're right.
And she had glittery nails. I mean, they had, I think, more designs on them, and Taylor doesn't usually do designs from what I've seen in like paparazzi photos.
Right.
It's just kind of glittery, clear nail polish.
I mean, look, maybe Jordan and Taylor were at the same event. They were at the Super Bowl.
That's true.
This past year.
Yes.
So if there's a world in which Jordan and Taylor meet, because like Bill Belichick and Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, who's a tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs, are both very high up in the NFL world.
Yes.
There's a world in which they're probably in the same rooms or like same events. If we got a photo of Taylor and Jordan together.
No. I would combust.
I would implode.
I don't know what I would do.
I would pass out.
It would be too much.
We couldn't handle it.
We'd have an emergency episode immediately.
Our little emotional regulation systems would just go haywire.
Yes.
Wow. Somebody else we talk about a lot, Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. We talked about him last week. I have breaking news.
What?
From Brooke Pryor.
What?
Our ESPN Steelers reporter, friend of the pod.
Wait, just now?
She just sent me her own tweet.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers says he doesn't want to live a life in the public eye. Says when he's done playing football, quote, "You won't see me."
No.
First of all.
Wait. What? Wait, does this mean what I think it means?
That he won't start a podcast? Okay, here, before we get too excited. First of all, Brooke, once again, doing the Lord's work.
Thank you so much.
Second of all, I don't know that I believe him. I think this man likes attention way too much. He likes attention so much that he's telling us that he doesn't like attention to get more attention.
Yes. Well, it's like when someone says on Instagram, I'm taking a break from social media, but then posts it on social media.
And then is back like a week later.
Yeah. Or people are like, exciting news coming, emoji. And then no, they don't post the news.
Right. Like when Jordan said that there would be a statement released.
Oh, and then also, we didn't talk about this with Jordan, that she posted the weird clip from the CBS Sunday Morning as a reel and said, like, part 1. Where's part 2? And what is this leading to?
I don't know, but here,
anyways,
before we get back to
that's all I had to say about that.
Real quick.
Yes.
Jordan is being Jordan again on social media, and I wasn't aware of the gap that her not posting had left in my life.
I know.
And now that she's back doing weird stuff like posting a reel of a behind the scenes of that disastrous CBS interview, calling it part 1. Yeah. I'm like, oh, I missed this.
I love it.
Maybe Bill's PR people were like, you know what, Jordan?
Like, whatever.
She's probably been like, can I please post?
Yeah.
And they've been like, no. And she's finally like, I'm posting.
Yeah, as she should.
Anyway, so Aaron Rodgers.
That news makes me very happy, obviously. I would love nothing more than him to go away from the public eye and never start a podcast, as we've said 1,000 times. However, I agree with you. I don't feel like he's being truthful. And he actually really does like attention.
Yeah, it might not be a podcast. It might be like he starts running retreats, darkness retreats himself, like Aaron Rodgers' darkness retreat extravaganza.
Yeah.
Which I would say if Aaron Rodgers ran a darkness retreat, I wouldn't be convinced that people would like ever come out of the darkness.
No.
He would like... I just wouldn't. You don't do that.
No, don't do that. No.
Anyway,
wow, that's crazy.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Also, you put this in here.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, other Aaron Rodgers is not as exciting as that. Apparently, Steelers players were, quote, pleasantly surprised by Aaron Rodgers' personality during mini camp. And said that some players feel that Rodgers is, quote, a more normal guy than you hear about, which feels like the most not normal guy thing. Like, I mean, if other players are allegedly saying this, then fine, whatever. It's not him saying that, but it does feel like something he would like plant, like he'd put on like, I'm normal.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Hey, guys.
I'm a normal guy. Sounds a lot like something a not normal guy would say.
Yes. 100%.
And I know that we know other people were saying this about him.
Yes.
But this also feels to me like when you know someone who's like said like awful stuff, or like you meet someone in person and it's like, oh, well, they're still a person.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they're normal.
No.
Like just because they can have a conversation with you and like pretend to be normal doesn't mean that they're normal, because all you have to do is watch his Enigma documentary, which real ones will know we reviewed.
Yeah. It's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Go check it out.
Go check it out. Anyway. Okay.
Speaking of not normal outfits, actually.
Oh, God.
Joe Burrow, quarterback for the Cincinnati Bengals, was spotted with Olivia Ponton, his maybe girlfriend. I don't know.
Yeah.
And what matters here, Charlotte and I both put in our doc essentially the same thing. It's not that they were spotted. That's interesting. It's what he's wearing. That's kind of shocking. He's wearing, if you're not watching this on YouTube, a backwards hat, a cutoff sweatshirt like Bill Belichick, jeans that are distressed with what look like distressed hearts all over them and some embroidered hearts, and some sneakers. And all I can think about when I think about this outfit is that he looked at Timothée Chalamet sitting courtside at the Knicks game and was like, I kind of want to wear these like cool Chrome Hearts adjacent outfits. And I don't think this works on him.
I also, I don't even think that that's Chrome Hearts.
No, it's not.
Right?
It's not.
No, but that's what that's what I mean. It's like, if you're going to do it, just get a Chrome Hearts thing.
Yes. It's like when, as a normal person, you try to recreate a celebrity's outfit with the stuff you have in your wardrobe and it never lands the same, obviously, because you're not wearing like a rose sweater. I'm wearing my H&M sweater or whatever.
Right.
That's what this kind of feels like, that he like tried to recreate it, but it's like, he's rich. He can buy the exact outfit.
This to me looks like lip gloss from the Limited 2 in 2005. Yes! That's what his outfit looks like. It looks, he's wearing I think is that Justin Bieber's Mad Happy brand?
Maybe.
There's a smiley face on it. We've talked about Joe Burrow before and his style, and he has a deal with Alo Yoga, and he wears sometimes suits made by Alo Yoga. Bring those back.
Bring them back.
This is what we're working with.
Well, I think what it says here is you can have a great stylist for red carpet looks, but ultimately off the red carpet, maybe you don't have the best sense of style, actually. It's a little jarring seeing him in this, actually.
It is.
Because he is so well dressed usually.
Yes.
Like every setting I've seen him in, he just looks like so sharp and so put together. And like he's wearing a cutoff sweatshirt and like off-brand Chrome Hearts pants. They may be expensive, but like it doesn't work on him. Doesn't work.
Also, athletes really love a distressed jean.
Love a distressed jean.
Which I am personally...
I think they're all right.
Heart distressed jeans...
It feels Limited 2 lip glossy.
Yeah. Also, I do think, though, one thing I will say for Joe Burrow is it seems like he dressed himself.
Yes.
And I will say, I do respect famous people who dress themselves rather than having a stylist just put them in something. Like, I feel like this picture, as bad as the outfit is, I have a sense of who Joe Burrow is.
Yes.
In a way that I haven't before.
Yes.
Which is a neutral observation that is neither good nor bad.
Yeah. No, it feels like very him and very intimate.
In a way that you're like, oh.
Yeah.
I wasn't familiar
with your game.
Mr. Burrow.
No, yeah, I agree.
All right. Well, this news broke, I think, last Tuesday?
Yeah.
Wednesday? I don't know. We had just recorded. The Lakers, the Buss family has sold the Lakers to a guy named Mark Walter, which is such a guy name that I can't remember it for my life.
He's just a guy being a guy, buying a team.
Yeah, he is something like TWG Holdings or like GMS Company, like the most company name of all time. Essentially.
And he was, I believe, he had a minority stake in the team previously.
Yes.
He didn't just come in out of nowhere.
Yes, that's true.
So this deal seemed to have been in the works for quite some time.
Yes. And so Jerry Buss bought the Lakers, I think for $67 million in the 70s and sold it. They just sold for $10 billion.
Insane.
Which is the highest sports valuation ever.
It's crazy.
After the Celtics just sold for $6 billion, which was the highest.
Yeah. But don't you love that the Lakers were like, we got to sell for more than the Celtics?
I mean,
that rivalry continues.
Look, the Celtics still have more rings.
All right.
Is all I'm saying.
All right.
But I do think it's interesting because Jeannie Buss, who has owned the team, who has voted not to sell the team before, voted to sell.
Yeah.
She's Jerry Buss's daughter, and she apparently will remain the Lakers' governor and will continue to run the team for at least a number of years, according to sources. The one thing I'll say here is that Mark Cuban sold the Dallas Mavericks to the Adelson family, and it was said that he was going to stay on as governor and head of basketball stuff. He didn't.
No, he did
not.
Nico
Harrison, the GM who traded away Luka Doncic to the Lakers, reports directly to one of the owners, Patrick Dumont, who owns it with the Adelsons.
Yeah, I do think it seems that this deal, I don't know about the Cuban deal specifically, but I do know this one, it was like agreed upon.
It's in writing.
It's in writing that she runs the team. And I think my understanding is that she has a good relationship, like the family has a good relationship with this guy, Mark.
Okay.
So I mean,
it seems more likely.
But also, who knows? Mark seems to kind of just be like, I just want to own this and you guys can run it for a while. And who knows, maybe they like will never step away. I mean, Jeannie has this like new title, which what does it mean to be a governor of a team?
Well, it's sort of funny because like teams don't have citizens. Yeah. It's like, who are you governing? I guess the people.
It feels like the job. It's like when you become an emeritus professor.
Yes.
Like you're still teaching a little, but you're like.
But everyone's like, are you?
Yeah. So I don't know if it's going to be like that or if Jeannie's really just going to kind of be running the show. And this guy, Mark's like, keep on doing it.
I can't wait to see what happens.
I feel like it could end up like a Succession-y drama, like just internal drama. But who knows? Maybe not. Maybe not.
Maybe not. We'll see. I will say Mark Cuban didn't have it in writing. I don't believe in his
I don't
contract.
think he did.
So that's a difference.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll keep an eye on this one, folks.
Yeah. The thing I wanted to end on,
yes,
has to do with the New England Patriots.
Ooh, my ears have perked up,
and not that your quarterback. Oh, what?
Already perked up about everything else.
They're perked.
I didn't mean to seem like
you weren't interested.
Yeah,
whatever.
No, okay.
No, you're just more interested in anything
no, I'm
Patriots.
Not. I'm just excited.
She is. It's fine. Their quarterback Drake May got married.
Oh, really?
Yes, and this was a listener submitted post. I can't remember who submitted this, but thank you for submitting this. He got married, and what we need to talk about, of course, are the flowers, because I have a question here.
Oh, boy.
So if you are not watching this on YouTube, they got married at what looks like a lake in front of a cross with hydrangeas and maybe some roses sticking out from it, a little bit of greenery. And I just can't decide, is this compressed or not? Also, I think this is the first cross we've seen involved in an athlete wedding. Usually it's the floral arch, as we have discussed. What do we think? Is it compressed?
Yes. Compressed but draped.
Yes.
Because it's not covering the whole cross, because you have to see that it's a cross.
Right.
Which, everybody has their own faith.
Yes.
I personally never thought I'd say this, sort of missed the arch when I look at this.
Yeah. Okay. It was definitely different. When I opened it, I was like, for sure it's going to be an arch. And then I was like, whoa.
It is
not an arch.
It is less compressed. It's pretty compressed. Also, that's not a lake. That's a pond.
Oh,
that's a pond. That's a pond wedding.
A pond wedding.
That's a pond wedding.
Well, what I think is even more compressed is one of the photos in the slideshow is them kissing, walking back down the aisle. Mm-hmm. And there are flowers lining the aisle. And those feel very classic athlete wedding, compressed energy. I actually weirdly think those flowers feel more compressed than the flowers on the cross. And I don't really know why, because I agree the flowers on the cross are compressed.
Well, because they're draped. It's
not, a little more organically placed.
Yeah. I do like the way they've placed it. Also, I will say she's wearing a drop waist gown.
Yes.
Which is very 2025.
Very 2025.
Feel like a wedding with those kinds of florals and the cross might have a empire waist, if I'm being honest.
I think you might be right.
So I sort of like that she switched that up.
Yeah, I do like that.
Well, congrats to them. I think I did see a picture from their rehearsal dinner where Drake May is wearing a checkered suit.
Oh, okay. Hey, switching things up. Listen, what do we say? We like when athletes have weddings that are a little bit different.
Yes. And this is definitely,
it's a little different. It follows, I think, some of the same tropes that other athlete weddings do. Yes. But it does feel at least that there's something different happening.
Yes, absolutely. He's got some nice little groomsmen up there. Is that a country club?
Charlotte's just zooming in on the Instagram post.
Anyway, yeah. Well, okay. Well, congrats to Drake May.
Congrats. Thank you to the lovely listener who submitted that to our weekly compressed floral updates.
Yes. We also have next week for the 4th of July a wedding bonanza.
Yes.
Of athlete weddings. So stay tuned for that. We just recorded it already.
Yeah, we already said what we were going to say. So
we know what we said.
I
think it's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But that's because we probably make ourselves laugh more than
you guys are laughing.
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. Sometimes when we really crack up, I do like to think of listeners, like if you're in your car listening, I like to think that maybe you're chuckling along, because when I hear other people laugh, I can't help but laugh.
Oh, I always laugh. It's contagious.
Yeah. Contagious joy.
And as always, please like and subscribe and rate and review. And another reminder, if you are wanting to watch video and you're listening to this right now on Spotify or Apple, there was no video on Apple, but whatever. Our video is now only on YouTube if you want to watch the full episode. So just an FYI again.
YouTube exclusive.
YouTube exclusive.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.